morning, Tottenham fans. Firstly, thank you for all your birthday wishes yesterday. It's much appreciated. I had a really good birthday. Got myself some new Tottenham gear. Thank you to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, Gary and Anne, for this. I really like it. Really nice. So I thought I'd wear it in my first video since my birthday. So thank you, everybody. In today's video, I just want to talk about the transfer window and why is there so much anger towards it already? Why are people feeling uneasy and stressed about our window? I'll talk about our new signing, Kota Takai, and why people are angry with that signing as well, and try and look at it at both sides, why they may be angry and why they may be anxious about this window, and I'll give you my thoughts on why we should just probably relax a little bit about the window. It's still pretty early. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. It really gets this video shown to more people and it helps me grow, so it's much appreciated. So into the video. So we signed Kota Takai a couple of days ago, and some Spurs fans are really not happy with it. The first question you have to ask yourself is, do you believe it's possible to find talent anywhere in the world? If the answer is yes, then it's not beyond possibility that this guy could turn out to be a good signing. But let's say I looked at it in another view, and this player could also turn out to be a bad signing. So I understand both sides of the argument. Nobody really knows, as is a subjective opinion for the start, but nobody can be right about this and nobody can be wrong about this, because we haven't seen him even play 1 minute for Spurs in the Premier League. So, you know, we can't say he's going to be great and we can't say he's going to be bad. So there's that aspect. I'm not saying that word. But why are people angry about this? Like, that's the part I don't understand. If I look at it from both angles, Levy has come out, and Levy has not helped matters, to be honest. Levy has come out and he said he wants to win the Champions League and he wants to win the Premier League. And his first signing was a 5 million unknown player from Japan. So maybe fans are feeling underwhelmed and maybe see it as spending cheaply rather than pushing to improve the first 11. Maybe they think it's not an ambitious signing. And I get that, I really do. I get that point of view. So I'm not saying that your opinion is invalid, because it is. It's valid. Maybe it's the fact that we signed a player in an area of the squad that we are pretty well stocked in, and maybe they think we're blocking the paths of Vuskovic and Phillips, and that's very understandable too. Ashley Phillips had a very good season with Stoke last year. Vuskovic was smashing it up in the Belgian league. We've got Romero, we've got Van der Ven, and we've also got Danso in as well, and Dragushin. We're very highly stocked there, so maybe people are a little bit annoyed that we're blocking pathways for these players to come through. So it's very understandable to think like that. Maybe they're worried that Takai is replacement for Romero. Now that would be a disaster in my opinion. If he came in to replace Romero, then yes, that would be a disaster. And yes, I wouldn't be happy myself. So I understand why you may be anxious about the window so far. But let's look at it another way. He's a 20-year-old Japanese international. Japan are a very decent team. They've beaten teams like Spain and Germany in World Cup group stages. You have to be a very good player to be in the Japanese international team for a start. He's also regarded as one of the most talented Japanese players to come out of the Japanese league. So that in itself is good. We signed him for 5 million. So if you don't work out, we haven't used much of our budget to get this guy in. Yes, it's a risk, but every single player you buy is a risk. You could spend £100 million on a player, it's still a risk. They still might not work. Look at Anthony from Manchester United. They spent 90 million on him and he was garbage. It doesn't always mean because you spend more money on a known player, it's going to work. It doesn't always work either. If he turns out to be a quality signing and ends up being a top quality defender for us, 5 million is nothing, and it will be seen as a brilliant signing. The amount of times I heard a few years ago that we should have signed that Kim Min-jae, that South Korean unit defender that was playing in South Korea at the time. Spurs were linked with him, I think, for a £10 million fee. I think it might be even less than that. a few years back. And many fans then said, oh, Levy's going for the cheap option. Levy shouldn't go for him. We should be going for well-known defenders to improve our first 11. And then we ended up not going for him and we didn't sign him. He's gone on to play for Napoli, getting Player of the Year. Then he signed for Bayern Munich and becoming one of their strongest defenders. And now he's even linked with Liverpool, and Liverpool want to sign him. He's become a very, very class defender now. I can't say for sure how this transfer is going to work out with Takai, but I'm not willing to write him off before he's even kicked a ball. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to, just because we don't know who he is or I've never seen him play before, I'm not just going to then go, oh, he can't be good because I've not heard of him, because that's ignorant towards the rest of the world. There's so many good players out there just not been spotted yet. I bet you right now there's a player playing that is going to turn out to be world class in a couple of years' time that we don't know about now. So it can happen. I'm not saying that this guy's going to turn out to be world class. I'm just saying it can happen. The only people that do know about this player is people that watch Japanese football week in, week out, that support Japan, that follow this player. And none of them have said anything bad about this player. In fact, a lot of them have just told us about his strengths and they believe he's going to go on to be a very good player. And these are people that do know. So we can only go on that for now. This fan base has been divided for, I don't know, last couple of years under Ange especially. With Frank coming in, maybe it's a good time to reset and get behind the players and managers and all unite as a fan base. We haven't got that pressure of winning a trophy anymore. So maybe, we can move on. If you're worried that Spurs won't show any ambition in this window, please remember it's still early, still plenty of time. Frank won't want to rush into decisions either. The end of the financial year will be the 30th of June. So we're not going to see a big signing until after that date, I don't believe. I think if we was going to sign an Eze, it would be after the 30th of June to put that on the next year's budget. I do believe there will still be a lot of outgoings to leave Spurs. I still believe there's going to be more incomings coming in. And I think it will depend on how many outgoings there are. But I think there will be a few. But for me, we have signed Danso on a permanent deal. We've signed Matisse Tell on a permanent deal for 29 mil, which I think is going to end up being a bargain too. And we've now signed Kota Takai. So it's not like we're not doing anything. And it's still very early in the window. All three have the potential to be quality players. And they're all quite young. Danso's 26, I understand. But he's already shown how good he is. Tell especially, I think, is going to explode next season. So I'm very excited to watch him play. He's been playing outstanding in the French under-21 tournament. He's really shining. One of the best players in the tournament, in my opinion, not just being biased. His finishing is great. His finishing and training as well. I saw some clips of that. Awesome. But so he could be a quality signing. We have a lot to look forward to this summer and next season. So remember, we are European champions. We're Europa League champions, people. Europa League champions. We won a trophy. Enjoy it this summer. Enjoy that we are champions of Europe and, we're trying to head into a different direction and maybe try and improve on last season. It's no point being miserable. Like, if you're miserable now after winning a trophy and you're still miserable about signings we're making, Frank is... I'll tell you another thing. Frank is known. He's made a living from buying unknown players and developing them into top quality players. Nobody heard of Mbeumo until he signed for Brentford and Frank turned him into a goal machine. And now he looks like he's going to be heading towards Manchester United after scoring 20 goals last season. He cost 5 million as well, by the way. Nobody knows how things are going to go. Nobody knows how things are going to pan out next season. But let's enjoy the fact that our next competitive match is a Super Cup final. How good does that feel? Let me know in the comments about how you feel about the summer window so far, how you feel about next season, and how you feel about these signings. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.